Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And this should be the first video on my new rig. So let me know what the quality looks like, how the sound is. I'm still messing around with stuff, but we've got slapped by Rommel from Clan Shrike in his M4A1 FL10. Now, slapped by Rommel, slapped Rommel. I don't know. Let's call him Rommel. He asked for some help. He was on the forum, said, "Hey, I feel like I've plateaued." I think is what he said, having a little bit of trouble improving. So I'm coming to the forum and asking for help, and I said, well, I do replay reviews, so send me some replays and we'll take a look at it. So it's been a while since we've kind of broken down a new player here. That's not what we're trying to do. I'm trying to break you down, but breaking down from the start with a new player. Let's call it that. Let's call it that. All right, Rommel. Standard ROE with this stuff. I'm going to give you critiques. I'm going to be honest with the critiques. Not here to beat you up. Anything I say that you're doing or not doing, you can always take that with a grain of salt. Everybody plays the way they play. If there's something I say or you disagree with, then take the nuggets that work and move on from there. But if you like what I'm saying, give it a shot. All right, that being said, let's take a look then at some of Rommel's stats. I'll spit it out. Dug around a little bit, looked on a couple different sites. This is the Wargaming site. Definitely improving, sitting around 1,300 in the win rate. It looks like he's kind of plateauing, although damage and experience is still going up. That is a very good thing. And looks to be a TD player, at least has been in the past, although none of these particular battles are TD battles. They look a lot like TD battles. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We got the FL10. We have a Baraska Char Footer battle and one other that I can't remember. I think a Lorraine or Suma, one of the two. I believe it's the Suma. Numbers wise, like I said, everything's looking good. In fact, the battle survived is pretty good at 32%, but with a 49% win rate, this is pretty indicative of a TD player. So we've got a lot of TD games. Toss in there the artillery games that tend to survive more, and 10,000 of his battles, over half of his 19,000 or so, are in tanks that tend to survive more than others. Still, though, a 30% survival rate is good, and that has continued in his recent stats. We're not going to really dig into those too much. Actually, I do have it called up, so maybe we'll take a quick look before we move on. All the other numbers are above 1. Damage and destruction, all good. The recents are definitely going up, and this is off of Watt Labs. You can see that overall 49%, but recent at 50.2, last 1,000 looking at 50.2. All these numbers in the green for the most part. Up and down a little bit, but looking at the win 8, a solid green player now, which is good. Fantastic. Is doing well in his AT8. He's been playing the FL10 a bit in there as well, and these are just in the last 24 hours. Looks like an Arty game or two chucked in there. 2801 and yada yada. All right, so what can we glean from all of this? Average player overall getting better, starting to try to figure out how do I get to blue. This is really, I think, what Rommel's looking to do, is to get off this plateau of green and continue to move up. Now, all the numbers are moving up. It's just the win rate is sort of stagnating on him just a little bit. Although he's got pretty good at the last 75 battles at 55%, last 161 at 49%. So we're doing the standard thing that everybody does, but looking to increase the win rate to a more, I don't know, north of 50% area and continue to improve. All right. All of that being said, let's take a look at the first one. We have the FL10. I'm looking at your equipment. We've got a turbo, vents, and a binocs. I would get rid of the binocs and put on something more useful. I don't know if this carries an IA. I don't think it has a vert stab, but take a look at something that's going to help you out a little more than binocs. Binocs are extremely situational, and that is something I would expect a TD player to put on a lot of tanks. All right. Move forward. We've also got some food, so a little bit of try-hard action going on, which is all good. And we are all gold loadout, unless you've changed. Let's see, 148. Yeah, so we've got the all gold loadout. And we're on Himmelshire Dorf, Red Dorfshire. And we go right up to the Camp Alama Ding Dang. And I would imagine this is probably a spot you've used a lot with your tanks. You might even look at this tank and go, well, I'm bottom tier, and this is really in this tier. I'm just going to have to be a support TD. I can't believe you hit that shot, and I just wanted to leave this going because we are definitely a third person way away kind of shooting guy. get into a little bit more. I think you need to explore the zoom a little bit more on some of these shots. I'll show you a couple examples in some of the other games on what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that you have to zoom all the way in. And I can't tell. I think you're a shift zoom and then a little bit of maybe scroll after that. That's what it looks like we're using. I don't like shift zoom. I've said that a million times. A lot of people do. But, you know, start to explore a little bit of the scroll wheel zoom to fine tune the zoom. However you get there, I don't really care. But I think you're doing yourself a bit of an injustice by shooting so far zoomed out. You're actually pretty darn good at it. We'll see that multiple times. But I think you could be a little bit better and more accurate in the human to shooting interface if you zoomed in some cases a little bit more. So we'll hit on that theme. The other theme is positioning. We're way back here. Now, the other thing I've got for you a little bit is somewhat map awareness kind of things. That guy was on the other side of the hill. So you were never going to get a shot on him. You've also completely exposed yourself to any of their tanks who might be hanging out over here. And this is just a really, really bad move. You get away with it completely. But I'm very surprised there weren't 2 or 3 guys waiting to shred you right there. Turns out a good portion of them were over on the 9-0 line, and there's a considerable number of them over there. They just don't happen to be up and over and spotting you. 2801 goes raging in. All right, so I don't like the initial position. Where would I go? I think the 1-2 line or even support the 9-0 line. This is a really nice little support tank, second line kind of thing. You would have to absolutely stay out of the way of things like the KV-2, the TNH, all of that. Even the IS and the Carl are going to give you trouble. But that little auto loader is pretty amazing. It's also got kind of crummy gun depression. So working this hill with its bad gun depression is really painful. And you've already noticed you kind of moving around a little bit trying to figure that out. Team is starting to win. Team is starting to win. I say that twice because throughout nearly every one of these replays, there's a decided lack of aggressiveness when things start going your team's way. You're really hanging back. This is definitely a TD player kind of mentality. Just being very extremely careful, hanging back, looking for those shots, not wanting to expose yourself too much and get deaded, and that's great stuff. But you have to be able to start sensing when the game is going your way. Now, you're definitely winning on this flank. The other flank has trouble, and we're just kind of trundling on, and we just drive right up and over this hill. And I think this was extremely dangerous doing that right there. Why not just go use the bush instead of coming up and over? Why not just come up in here, grab this bush, and then have a nice up on top and look all around. Survey your world there. The master of your own domain. And we kind of figure that out. So watch your lines when you approach to the next position. I think you started to see that the team was winning. You started to see that the team was winning, and that was good. Be careful about the lines that you take and use as many bushes as you can. Now this was kind of interesting to me, and I don't actually know how you got spotted here. Oh, because you went right through the bush. You went right through the bush here. And you saw the Arty shiny, and now you're after the Arty. Here's that zoom thing I'm talking about. I mean, you're so far zoomed out. Oh, by the way, this is the guy I would prioritize. Holy cow, I'd put 4 shots right into this guy right now. Right meow. And that's the zoom right there, right? I can zoom in and go, ooh, I can really just fine-tune that shot. And that's fully, maybe you get to about here, but here's where we are, right? So that's way zoomed out. I definitely would prioritize the Bros. And then this dude, you're trying to pixel hunt from way back here. Now, we'll watch you do it. And you actually hit the guy, which is pretty amazing. But if you zoomed in, you could go, oh, there he is. I'll just take some shots at that upper bit. But I think the Brosk is your priority here. It's pretty amazing. There we go. Also, notice the little jump when you shoot. I think your dynamic camera is on, which gives you gun shake. It's immersive. Some people like it. I would turn it off. Turn off your dynamic camera. Unclick that box so that your gun doesn't jerk around when you're taking shots. It's pretty distracting. All right. Your line on advancing. Man, you are absolutely exposing yourself to these guys over here. Now, I know they're kind of busy, but usually there's somebody hanging out on the top ridge here. And so if that E25 lights you, you're going to get shredded from the other side potentially, as well as Arty. So I think I would have stayed where I was. Maybe come down through. We'll zoom out of this. Maybe come down through. You were on this, in this bush or this ridge here, and then get onto one of these bushes here and kind of take a look like the Tiger 131 is doing. We just kind of hang out here and start to move forward. So let's think about what our real problem is. Our real problem is the west side, or sorry, the east side over on the other side there, off to your left. Man, I would have just turned around and headed back and start working back to the sniper hill you were on, so that if they try to push through, or maybe even cross down into the lower part and come up on this ridge here, try to find some shots on these guys. And as it is, we just kind of push into here. We find the E25. There's your gun depression messing with you. It's a Sherman, and you kind of feel like it should have some really good gun depression, but it doesn't, unfortunately. And then we just sort of YOLO at an E25, right? We come up and over. Holy cow. We also forgot, hey, there's a Borovsk back there. So we drive out into the open. We have a Borovsk. We have an E25, and we're just going to get machine gunned down. And then, I don't know if you realized it at that point that, holy cow, I've made a mistake. But we just sort of rage at this guy. All right, if you're going to charge an E25 like that, I think you were going for the ram, but unfortunately you didn't have enough oomph to kill him. I would try to go around him a little bit, make him start spinning around, but we just drive right into him. And now we don't have the gun depression. I think we just got absolutely schwammered there by artillery as well. And now we're dead. So, a little bit interesting that very careful, started to move forward. We talked about taking the right lines and using bushes and things. And then we just have this charge event right there. So I think a little bit more care. Overall, I'm going to tell you that you need to be more aggressive, and we'll talk about that in the other three. But in this case, a little more care in how you came at these guys. And I think if you were up there with the 131, it would have gone a lot better for you. Maybe you could have found the E25 kind of hanging out. But really what your team needs is some help over here. Over on the east side, that's a big problem. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, second one up is a Borovsk, this time on Meinsdorf. We're spawned into the south. We're top tier, and we don't go hill. So I'm going to ask you this. Why would you not go hill? I know that the Borovsk does take a little bit to reload. We'll see what the enemy team does, but for my money, that's where this tank goes. What you're going to do is go where generally fast TDs can often go. In this case, we're loaded out with a vert stab. We have a vert stab, we have optics, and we have vents. So we've got a bounty vent, and we've got the improved or bond vents, and a bounty vert stab. So that seems like a reasonable setup for me. Not bad at all. And it looks like we maybe, well, it's hard to tell. I don't know if you've got your field mods going there. Maybe you've got the optics in a vision extra slot right there, which will be good for it. Okay. We're also running food once again. So we don't go for the hill. I would say consider that. And we're going to go all the way around here and go to this bush. And I don't know, the T-50-2 maybe didn't like that choice either. So we're going to head over here. This bush is not my favorite, and a lot of the positions you take are more passive positions, looking for sniper shots and very careful gameplay. I am a much more aggressive player, I think, than you, just based on the 4 I've seen, right? So that's something else to think about. I've only seen 4 games, so it's hard to extrapolate a whole career out of 4, but I think we're seeing some fairly standard kind of themes right here. Nice shot on the King Tiger. You see him, you get spotted, you back out, you're using the bush. I would caution you with this bush to be careful. This cutout V right here, this is a tall enough tank that it is easy if you keep coming up high to get spotted by something down here through that V. So be careful with that. Now we're on a reload. Just back out. No sense sitting there and giving him any kind of pixel. Get as low as possible right there. Their Borovsk got up top. So I think you probably would have been able to take that hill. But too late. This is where we are. We're going to do this. So we come up here. T29. We got a 3601. And I don't really know why you didn't push forward into the bush and explore some of these shots a little bit more right here. Looks like maybe you're thinking about the King Tiger. We're being really careful, just not really aggressively looking for shots here. We kind of come up high, and there's a lot of waiting that goes on in this particular replay. So we got our 2 shells, that's good. We're sitting back. Now our buddies are pressing them a little bit over there. So they're all busy fighting these guys. So maybe even just see if we can get this Borosk. Can we get a light on that guy maybe? Is he... Nope. So he's flailing around up there. The T-20 is flailing around, and we're just not even paying attention to these guys over here. And it doesn't look like we have shots. Where's the T-20? T-20 is way over there. Never mind. He's actually on the ramp. And your guys, are, unfortunately, gave up the ramp over there. Okay, King Tiger, getting our reload in. Oh, actually, we changed, didn't we? Okay. Thought this was good. You're behind the bush. No problem. Somebody else lit him. You got a highlight. Boom, boom. Little bang, bang play, and off he goes to the garage. So that was good. We get lit there, so that's probably somebody up on the... Be careful there. That's probably somebody up on the hill that saw you right there. We're rocking back and forth. I think we're probably trying to avoid the M44. Not a bad plan right there. We come up. All right. I would be investigating this T-29. What on earth is this guy doing? Okay. So he's hiding. And now we start messing with this. This is where the zoom thing really comes in to play. Look at all the shots you have on this guy. And you actually figure it out. Somehow you get... There you go. And this thing hits him, which is amazing. And we take a blind shot. And we back out. Couple shots. Take a look at the map. We're doing okay. The IS-22. Now, I would start thinking about here, personally, maybe we can get back on the hill. Probably need to take some hit points off those guys up there. Nice shot there. Another example of zooming in, I think, would help. If you were zoomed in, I think you'd have been more ready for this second shot. See how it took you a while to sort of get there? I think that was an example of lost opportunity from not zooming in enough. The Borosk takes it, he jumps off, he dies. And again, I start thinking about how do I retake this hill. These guys are starting to get to the place where I can assassinate them, but there's still 2. There's a few too many hit points. Although now your buddies are going around and trying to start figuring it out. So there's a point where this position kind of becomes redundant or pointless. Although the 3601H is going to drive out into the open and die here. Good lead fire. Boom, boom. We bang, bang that guy. Pull back out. Now, I'm going to go try to figure out how to get rid of this T-29 or go around and retake the hill. Once we clear their 2 heavies off the hill, this game is over. Once we clear the heavies off the hill, this game is over. And that's the part where I was talking about a little bit earlier where your aggressiveness, I think, needs to be ratcheted up when you're playing tanks like this. You're going to shoot him right in the turret. Dude, I don't understand that. I don't know if you were trying to aim for that ear. That's not a hitbox. Doesn't do anything. And you don't have enough depression. Well, actually, I can probably show it. You absolutely could have scooted up a little bit more, got right into his hole, and boom, boom, and delete the T-29. For some reason, we take a turret shot, and there we finally move up on him, and we do a bounce with a hasty shot because we got lit. So, scooch forward, boom, boom, get out of there. Good awareness on repairing the... I don't know if that was a driver or a gunner. I think we're maybe going to bail out now. All right. I thought, all right, not bad. Let's go up the hill, right? Let's go peel these guys off the hill. And we're just looking where we're driving with this view. For me, man, when I drive, I'm more like this. Camera work, because I get more SA on what's going on. I can see this dude. Holy cow. Slam the brakes on. Let's kill him. Okay? We totally miss him. What about this dude? Maybe we have shots on this guy. Nope, don't see him. But if I see him coming at me, then I can grab some cover. But we're just sort of driving along in our automobile, looking straight forward. Straight forward. Straight forward. Okay, and then, oops, nope, maybe the T-50-2, and we turn back around. Like, I'm not even sure why you were running from the T-29. Maybe you thought that hold down position would be good for him and bad for you, but you had 2 shells to take him out. So now we push back into the position we were in. we're not paying attention to this, because this guy is going to be looking for all of you scurrying around down there. We take a hit. We look at him. We totally ignore that we had a shot on the T-29. Come around here. We get hit by the T-26E5. We futz around. The 50-2 is in front of you, man. You need to scoot forward and get rid of this guy. As a matter of fact, you're still shotable by these guys. So you got to start learning how to fight two guys at once. You just got hit from this dude, the directional indicator, and if you don't have that turned on, turn it on. Let me talk about that just a little bit, because what I'm seeing here is not necessarily how you have yours set up. Okay, so if you don't have the directional indicator on, you need to turn it on, because what you really needed to do is tuck up right next to the T-50-2, protect yourself from these guys, pop around the corner and get rid of this T-29. And very lucky. One misses, and that shot, you just sort of by intuition get in there. I like your clip management here. We're going to have another game where your clip management definitely needs some work, but that was not bad. I would absolutely have done the same thing. Go ahead and hit C. Once again, I'm going to be an advocate for going back around and trying to get that hill. This is pretty typical of TD players, TD mains. They know a place, they like a place, they do good work in a place, and they never leave the place. And then we've gone back to the place, right? Get over there and get rid of the guy. That's a rock. I don't even know really, to be honest with you, I don't know why we're shooting at that. So this tank has a lot of maneuverability. You only have 450 hit points. You don't have a bunch of votes left, but there is an option to go scooching up underneath them, the three guys that are in the sniper nest there, and they're kind of busy with people coming from every direction. Now I'm going to advocate at this point, this game is pretty much won. You don't want to throw yourself away for nothing, but you do want to get in there and get damage and get experience. I would then take this fast tank up there, hit reload, and just push up underneath them. They're busy shooting a bunch of other people. And we just kind of hunt around. Again, I'm going to be advocate right here. I think you would have fine-tuned that shot a lot more if you'd have zoomed in and gone, yep, there he is, boom, boom. This actually hits him. It kind of blows my mind. Good on you. We look around for this dude. Nothing going. And again, shoot the UDES. I don't have it. Start driving at him. Hit C, reload on the way in, and see if you can't beat the T-50-2 and E-25 to the last hit points. As opposed to just sitting back and hoping somebody else lights everything up. It's hard to know. Maybe you don't make it. But it's probably better than what we're doing, although we do end up with a kill there. Good on you. And now we're just sort of staring at what's going on here, and we don't get any more damage. We end up with 3,003 damage, 151 assists, and 4 kills. So overall, a good game, a good, careful game. I think there was some opportunities in there, as I talked about, to be a little more dynamic, and that's probably one of the big themes of. And that's how you're going to get better, and how you're going to climb off that 1,300 win 8 plateau, is to take all that good, careful gameplay and start to add some more aggressive gameplay. Not hair on fire, pants on head, stupid YOLO. That's not what I'm talking about. But it will feel that way probably for you a little bit, especially at the beginning, as you start to learn when and how to be more aggressive. All right, let's move to the next one. Number 3 is in the Suma. It is in the Suma. Heavy tank, tier 8, French. We're bottom tier again. There is an artillery, a bunch of TDs. The Patton is AFK or what, I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's moving. And we're moving up here to the northwest corner, and I think this is a good position. But one thing I will say about your gameplay is you're distracted by shiny stuff. So what I always ask people is, what's the plan? What am I trying to do right now? Do I want to get up there and start punching people in the face with my buddies? Am I really trying to be a sniper? You want to take shots of opportunity, but don't let them distract you too much from what you're doing. Like, what is the plan? Maybe if you had a shot on that guy on the way by, that'd be great. But now we're really in no man's land right here. If they get a couple tanks with any gun depression up here, they're going to shred you. They're going to absolutely shred you. Now you're waiting for him, and you use that sweet APCR and thump him twice here, I think, which is really nice. Now move forward, right? Boom, boom. It worked out for you. Great. Head forward and hit C and get reloaded. Yes, it's a long reload. Yes, you have 3 more shells, but I don't see much anything here right now. And it looks like there's not going to be based on how many guys. Get up underneath there and get yourself a reload. Because we're going to sit on 3 shells for a ridiculous amount of time. So some pretty good clip management on the last one, and this one definitely left some to be desired, as will the last one in the char footer. So just think about, you got those 2 shots, you start moving forward, you hit C. This thing is really slow. You're probably getting pretty close to having your 5 shells right now, right? You're at least 15, 20 seconds wrong. We come up here and we're like, oh, do I have the gun depression? Well, nobody has that gun depression. Maybe a Kron or an Emil has that gun depression for that position. Nobody else does. So it wasn't even worth really investigating. Either go left, come over there and peek over and start shredding these guys. That's what I do. But I have 2 guys. There's only 2 of them. They're shooting at those 2 guys. Let's bring my autoloader around the corner and go, hey, how you doing? And start just absolutely slaying these guys. This is the best kind of position and situation for an autoloader. You already have 2 friends engaging them, and they're busy shooting these guys, and you come with a full clip, come around the corner, share some HP in terms of the people they're shooting at, and just start annihilating things. Take them down, and then your buddies with the cyclical guns keep on firing. So we don't do that. We sort of go to a place we can't really do anything with, and then we slowly go over this way. And we're still on 3 shells. We could have reloaded twice by now. So we stare at the brown snowman, which is a pretty funny name, actually. And we're thinking, all right, what do we do? Well, there's a lot of guns in the game, so maybe it's not time to YOLO down there and push into them. Nothing much else going on. The TL1 LPC is over there. And we're sort of looking for shots on him. Oh, look at the even 90. Oh, man, maybe some shots on the even 90, but we're looking at this guy behind a rock. He dies. All right, even 90 dives down. And we sort of move forward. The phase 1 is making a move when we come up here. And the good news for your team is a majority of their team is on the peninsula, and a couple of their big TDs are actually at cap and not close enough to just annihilate you for coming down in the open. Man, I don't use that line. Can't tell you how many times I've been just smacked for being on the ridge like that. Try to avoid moving forward along ridges. I think he got spotted by the even 90. Good news is there's nobody sitting over there. He ends up dying to the Borosk. Excellent. And I like this then. You made it happen. You didn't get killed, so now we're going to come up behind these guys. Just keep going. Keep going. Go, go. Wouldn't it be nice to have all your shells right now? You'd have 4 more. I don't really know why you dove down low right here. Now, I'd have been trying to get in there on that 430U as fast as possible. It may be that you didn't want to highlight yourself on this ridge. I'll accept that. It's not a bad plan. He gets just destroyed, though. Look, even the grill just rolls in there. Lets him have it. And we finally hit C to get our reload going. All right. I think it's a good idea to hang out here. It's going to take you a while to reload. So now my question to you is, what's the plan? This is another game where your team is winning by a lot, and it's time for you to get in there as fast as you can and start getting some hit points out of these boys. You do have to be careful. There's a JPZ, otherwise he's out on the peninsula. There's some big TDs. So you don't want to just YOLO in there, but you want to be moving forward from cover to cover, from position to position, and try to get in there and start getting as many shots as you can. I like the Grill 15s. Actually, that's Pirani. I didn't notice that. That's pretty funny. That's a guy from my clan right there. Is it, right? Yep, GFLC. That is Pirani. Nice. Yo, Pirani. There you are, brother, in the grill, making it happen. All right, the 268 is lit. And we play this game here where we just sort of, we're trying to find 1 pixel to shoot on this guy. And almost the entire rest of the game is you trying to find 1 pixel on this 268, which is pretty well armored, and trying to shoot him. And let's close in. Let's bring the noose together on these dudes. Let's annihilate this team. Probably only the WT and the 268 based on the number of lights over there on the peninsula. So let's just roll in there and start getting rid of these guys. And I like where the AE Phase 1 is as a position to attack from. So, holy cow, man. Yeah, this... Finally get kind of a zoom in. And look at that. Just like, oh, let me get a pixel. Okay, we hit that guy. He dies. Good. I like that. That was good awareness. Let me just shift over there and get something I can hit. Those were okay shots. Again, I'm going to advocate a little bit more zoom in on those so you can more, what's the word I'm looking for, accurately aim for the weak spots. One thing on your stats that's kind of interesting is your pen rate is pretty low. And that may speak a lot to these further off shots. Also to this relatively significant amount of artillery you've played in comparison to your total number of battles. That will hurt your pen rate as well. Remember, you got to take all the numbers in context of the rest of the numbers and the way the person plays and yada yada. So we come in, great. We're 100% reloaded. And we come up here and we're like, oh boy, it's just too little. Man, if I could just find a pixel to shoot. Bounce. There we go. We get one. Nice. A whole clip. Almost a whole clip. All right. I think right there, I didn't zoom in while you're doing it, but if you just scooched a little bit more and aimed lower, I think you could have put almost every shell into his lower plate in that case. We're just really accepting of these little 1 pixel shots. We got 1,637 though, 227 assists. There's only 3 of these guys. The JPZ's out of it. The WT is over there. We're on a reload, so that's fine. I don't even really know why you're rocking back and forth. I just go low enough here that they can't even see my turret. Probably it's just habit, but there's no artillery. And once you got low enough cover, they're probably not going to pixel snipe you like right there. Get reloaded, and now let's go do it. Now remember, it's the same thing I talked about on the last one. A lot of times I'll just kind of push over and go at them because I know I'm going to get some assist out of this. Even if I get hit once or twice, more than likely everyone else starts shredding these guys, and I get the assist, and then I get to shoot at them too once they shoot at me and I know where they are. Just, again, messing around with this. The WT, I think we have shots on him right now. Is that right? No, not quite. We actually figure him out too. We're going to find him. We get lit, and we go, oh, there he is. All right, and then we do this. Man, just zoom in and let him have it, and then pick some shots. Go for a tracking shot so you can get some assist if somebody else does it. What we do is we do this kind of far away thing. And we're kind of, finally get the guy dead. We did get a little assist at the end. That's nice. We put a shot into there, and then somebody else kills him. And look at that. We pick up some assist at the end on the 268 because we moved in and got close enough. Then a nice little game, 2,239, 454 assists, and a kill. But I think a little bit more aggressiveness adds another 800, 1,200 damage to that game. And some more assist. All right, one last one. All right, Char Footer. This map is so effer, says 277. There are worst ones. Oh, worst ones. Anyway, we are on Himmelsfield, Erdorf, spawned over into the west side, and this one is the one that really shows a TD player 100% because we are going to take this. We're going to fight it like a TD, and I know some people say fight this tank like a TD. I disagree with that. This is an absolute beast of a medium. Just think of yourself as a really rapidly firing cyclical gun for 4 shots in a mobile medium. That's going to require some alone time to get itself back together after it freaks out, right? That 4-second interclip. So you're basically a 390 alpha beast with 4-second shots for 4 shots, and then you have to go reload to rinse and repeat, as opposed to a bang, 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 bang autoloader. That being said, we're going to go to a bush in airfield and sit back here, and this is one of my least favorite positions in this entire game and the map right here. The whole fight that matters is in the north. It's in this middle area right here, maybe up on the hill, doing some nice mobile work with your nice auto-loading gun, But we're just going to just sit back here. You're going to struggle a little bit with this guy too because of lack of zoom. It actually hits, so good on you. And we, oh geez, we're going to, okay. It actually hit. And then we pull back, and we're just going to shoot through a bush. And holy cow, where'd he go? Oh, okay, he went off the other end. Hit C, man. There you go. As soon as he disappeared and you didn't have any shots, just hit C. Get that reload going again. You will see yourself out of shots on occasion, but I say it's better to go ugly early on things like that, get reloaded. And we're just going to hang out here and be Mr. TD, man. We see the tortoise. More than likely you know that position because that's probably a position as a TD player you've sat at quite a bit. And as I watched you reload and kind of stare at that position, I'm like, oh, I think I know what's about to happen here. There's a WT and a tortoise. Actually hit him for 362. Good on you. We shoot again. We don't hit anything. They're probably off the back edge. We shoot again. We don't hit anything. They're definitely off the back edge. We look at this guy and we go, well, I have a shell anyway. Let's just waste it into there, and we don't hit anything. All right. One of the reasons I talk so much about being more aggressive and getting your gun in the game early and often is you are completely relying on your team right now to not start losing quickly. And you're in a position that is going to be unable to help them if they do. And if they start to get shredded up here in the critical terrain in this brawl, and you're not somewhere nearby to react, you're way down here sniping at guys that are camping way back here who are also not in the game, right? Nobody down here is in this game. You're not in the game. These guys back here are not in the game. You might go, well, I'm shooting at them. Well, you are. Blind shots across the entire map with one 432 that's looking at a K91 and another guy. Nothing down here matters, really. How many times have you seen people push across into this position and get shredded? This position doesn't matter. All right. My opinion, right? My opinion. So take it under advisement and do with it what you will. We're looking for a reload. 432, start moving around. We're hanging out in Das Bush. Here comes the TVP. Felipe G feels like it's time to get aggressive. With the 432, waiting for a reload. Mega long range shot. And he gets away. I'm kind of glad he did, because I think he would have taken that shot and probably missed. So he gets away. TVP is sort of moving up. We're hanging out right here. I'm going to ask, like I said earlier, what's the plan? How are you going to help this team win? You're winning by 3 to 1. Now it's 3-1. You do notice the 50-51 coming in, so I thought this was actually good. So you do recognize when somebody's kind of overextending near you. A fairly typical, decent TD player skill is to be able to take out people who overextend. So we come in here. Like, all of a sudden now we're really zoomed in. For me on this one, I just come around the corner and I auto-aim this guy at about that angle. Just auto-aim him and bang, bang. He's gone. A little bit of shakiness. We get that done. We do take a hit from the tortoise. We wisely come up here. Now hit C. Hit C, get reloaded. Right, you moved forward. You got a guy dead. Fantastic. Hit C, get all your shells back. Because there's nobody to shoot right now. And then this one, I got to tell you, this one actually blew my mind. Not only are we falling all the way back to the position we were in, we're not hitting C and reloading, so that by the time we drive around the corner, we're almost reloaded. We fall all the way back to our position. Look at the minimap. Nobody's attacking in the south. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of their tanks lit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all of them. That's everybody, my friend. There are no other tanks. And we are back at the bush. Now I know I'm going on and on about it. So like I said at the beginning, take all that under advisement. And none of this is scoffing It's just being honest, because this is, and then we shoot 2 blind shots into the bush. This is just an absolutely useless position. You may have hit him actually, because it didn't show you hitting the ground, or it went through that and got too far away for you to see it. Not really against the blind shots. Let's say you stopped the push and you were still there and had 2 shells, and then maybe you take 2 shots into that area and then push forward. That's not a bother. But we actually took the time to drive all the way back to the bush just to fire 2 blind shots and then move forward. So this is just becoming a rompel stomp. We come up over the top, and I like this. Great, you're seeing it. You're moving forward. This is good. This is good. All right, where's the object 430? Where was he last seen? Where was he last seen? Just keep that in mind. We come over here. We actually notice the ISU get lit here, which is pretty good. SA. There we go. Fantastic. Slam the brakes on. There you go. Shoot this guy. Again, I think zoom is going to be your friend right there. I think you don't miss that shot if you zoomed in the first time. And we got him dead. All right, good. And we move forward. Ooh, holy cow, there he is. We shoot. For my money, I don't stand in on him right there. It actually works out for you. That blows my mind. You got it. Good on you. But I think for me, I see him. I cut down low and I move up towards him and try to make some good shots on him. And you're probably like, well, Guido, I just killed him. I'm just talking about overall. All right, and then and then we stop to farm a Brothers in Arms. Now, everyone has their priorities in the game. If you like the shiny Brothers in Arms things and whatever, that's fine. It's all good. There were some more hit points to get, though. My point here is that the Tortoise, I'd have just kept going at that guy. It's going to turn out that you won't reload in time. I didn't notice. No, he actually fired 2 shells, so you were already on the reload automatically. And it turns out he dies as these guys push in, and you are now moving towards him. Somebody absolutely slaps him. I guess that was the WT or 268. Absolutely smashed him. So there's no hit points to get, and you're not going to get it. However, you didn't know that when you stopped and started typing. Or not typing, but trying to ask somebody to join your platoon so we can farm a Brothers in Arms. Again, everyone's got their priorities. If that's what you like, whatever, go for it, man. But if you're talking, and I'm being honest with you, if you're talking about I want to get more damage, more win 8, be a better player stats wise, all those little things like that, always going for the shot, always moving towards the next shot, always thinking about the next move down the line. That's the kind of stuff you have to do. And if we consciously say, well, I don't care about that, I'd rather have a Brothers in Arms. And the only reason I'm going off on this one thing is because this is the example we have, but it exists in a lot of other points along the way as we're playing the game. One of them is turning back around and going to your sniper hole. If you'd have pushed forward, maybe even some more damage would have come along your way. But we spent all that time driving around to go back to our sniper position. And I don't know, maybe you did hit that Taurus and take some damage off of him again. We'll have to look at the... I don't think we actually... No, we don't. Because you left... I think you left this one before it was over. That doesn't make any sense. I didn't have plates for this one, I think. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Dude, I hope some of those things helped. Let me know what you think down below, everybody else, if you've got other opinions or advice for them. Keep it civil. Keep it constructive, please, if you would. He asked me for help, so this is what I'm offering right here. Let me know what you think there, Rommel. Good luck. You are improving. The numbers show that. I think there's always a plateau. I think where you're trying to get to now is to get to that 53% consistently and start cranking up that win rate. You have a lot of battles. It's going to take a while for your overall. You do have fits of hitting 55, 56, but what you're trying to do right now, when you go from green to blue, is you're trying to get to that consistently 55% win rate. And the things I talked about are what you're going to have to do. You have to be exceptionally good TD player to roll a 55% win rate as a TD player. It's not easy, because if you don't also incorporate some medium heavy tank capability of being able to move forward and get damage and affect mid to late game in battles, you're always going to sit around that 52, 53, 50% regime. as a TD player. You got to start learning how to affect the game mid to late game actively as opposed to passively. That's when you're going to break that 55% win rate and start cranking into the blue and teal kind of colors. All right, man. That's all I've got. Thanks for coming by, everybody. We will see ya.